This first play we're going to watch, the first play Rutgers ever runs as a Big Ten member. Pretty good play. Tell us how you would come about making this the first call of the game. What goes into that decision?
When we studied Washington State's backs, they seemed to sit on routes at about 10 to 12 yards. I told Gerry we were going to start with this play, and I said, if they sit on it, we may have a touchdown. If they don't sit on it, at least we sent the message that you better not sit on it. They sat on it.
How has Gerry progressed?
You know, when I first met him, he was a kid who had been the starting quarterback, was replaced last year because he had thrown a bunch of interceptions. And then, you know, I called an aggressive play. You know, I look back, probably shouldn't have called it. And the ball got intercepted. He didn't turn around. It really wasn't Gary's fault, but I thought he handled that very, very well because it could have been back, here we go again.
Right.
And I think he just let it go and went on and played, told the kid not to worry about it. And I told him after the game I was very proud of, you know, the way he handled that whole situation, which I think shows some maturity on his part.
The way you talk about your quarterback, he's got a lot on him. He has to be a guy who totally buys into what's going on.
Oh, no question, no question. I have a lot of confidence in my ability to teach a young man how to read coverages, how to read defenses. I spend a lot of time before we ever get in the playbook just teaching defense, so they understand defense, so they can make those decisions to put us in the right place. Because no matter how hard I study, no matter what we put down, he's the last guy that makes it right. Because I can't change my call, he can't.
Right.
And a lot of coaches don't want to put that in a 17 or 18, 21-year-old kid.
Coach, this play, Paul James catches this swing pass against Howard. He's pretty impressive on this play, and he was a walk-on.
Both he and Mike Burton were walk-ons.
Really? Your backfield's walk-ons. So much for scientific recruiting,
Right.
I guess. Is that what we're supposed to say?
So much for the star system.
Right, the star system.
This wideout here, he's going to come in, he's going to crack on the guy who's responsible in man coverage for Paul. So he cracks, the linemen come out, and it's a double screen. So if this guy were to peel onto Paul, then the quarterback would turn and throw the tunnel screen to the person up top. Gerry does a good job. He gets it over the defender, and we get enough on this wideout. The tackle supposed to block that guy, but he kind of screened him. Paul takes it the rest of the way. Now, we had a scrimmage, our last scrimmage before the year, and we were on the 2-yard line. Paul broke one for 98 yards, we thought, but he got caught from behind, and he has never heard the end of it. So supposedly he had a hamstring problem during the week, but I would say his hamstring looked pretty good on this one because he's stretching it out pretty good.
How do you decide what your run-pass ratio should be?
What the defense allows me to do. So, you know, I remember when I went to work with George O'Leary at Georgia Tech, you know, we were talking, the last thing he said to me, he said 60-40. I said, 60-40, what's that? He goes, we run it 60% of the time, we throw it 40% of the time. I said, you need to get somebody else. He said, what are you talking about? I said, I don't want that put on me. He said, well, what do you want to be? I said, I want to do what they let me do.